Did you know that you only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts equal to your emotional state? Hello, my name is Sige Nagels. I'm a life coach and transformational mentor. I so love to talk to you about this. We just had an amazing call where we processed and released intense emotions. If you want to be part of it, then click the pinned comment below this video. Make sure you're part of this community where we can go deeper with this. So what do I mean that you can only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts equal to your emotional state? Let me ask you a question. What do I mean by emotional state? And what do I mean with thoughts and feelings connected to it? Well, you must have heard before about your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is also called the emotional mind. It's a big database of everything that happened to you with a lot of repetition and a lot of emotion, with emotional impact. Now, we also have a thinking mind, our conscious mind. This is the mind with which we make decisions, with which we focus, with which we are operating ourselves through our daily lives. Okay? So the thinking mind and the feeling mind, they are closely tied together. Now, what do I mean by emotional state? Let me ask you a question. An emotional state, can you see that for you, this might be a range of emotions that you are very familiar with feeling, and then a specific state is a specific emotion you're very often connected to, based upon the situation you're in, the relationships you allow yourself to be surrounded with, the family, environment, the job, your health, can be anything. So this emotional state is a state of being. A state of being. Now, can you see for yourself, if you're honest with yourself, how do you behave when you are put in an emotional state that you don't want to be in? Say something happens to you that creates anger or that creates fear, anxiety, frustration, confusion, resentment. How do you behave? Do you go and defend yourself? Do you turn yourself around and you just walk away? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel not seen, not understood? What happens? What happens afterwards? Do you go back to process it? Or do you go back into your mind and overthink it? How you could have solved it, how you could have fixed it, how you needed to behave, what could have been better, what they needed to do, how this is unfair, how this may have been, challenging you, how dangerous it has been, how painful it has been. All right, take a deep breath. And exhale. Why am I sharing all of this? I want you to understand what emotional capacity is. Emotional capacity is something that we train. Something that is connected to your, let's say, emotional intelligence. How smart are you, so to say, in dealing with your emotions? And the first thing to discover that how you deal with your emotions is looking at your behavior. Don't you agree? Now, I know that there's a version of you inside of you that sees you and that hears you, and that may perhaps not have been coming to the surface yet, because you're listening to other people, you're in compliance, you are compensating, you are keeping yourself small because you may hurt other people, you may not speak up because you know they are not going to like it. They've been telling you before how they see things. It turns out that you're not heard and seen where you are. So when the situation keeps coming up over and over and over again, you either create the same dynamic as before, or you turn it around. Now, emotional capacity allows you to turn these situations around. Not to solve or to fix them, yet to go inside of you, and to really understand why this is happening, not to you, yet for you. See, situations you are in, environments you are in, relationships you are in, you have co-created a dynamic, unwillingly or willingly. And in order for you to improve the quality of those relationships, of the situations, of the environments, you have to understand what is happening beneath the surface, beneath your skin when it comes to your emotions. Your emotions hold wisdom only if you were able to stand still and to learn to listen. This is what I mean with emotional capacity. Learning to listen to what's been shared. What is the lesson to learn? What is the pattern about? What keeps happening over and over again? And what is the behavior that, or the thought, or the feeling that throws you back into old behavior, that you end up in situations that feel so painful, and that you either protect yourself, reject yourself, go and numb your emotions, go and distract yourself. Because when it comes to numbing, running away from, going into addiction, partying, whatever the compensation is, it shows you that you have growth to do when it comes to your emotional capacity. Now, and if you needed to hear that, then that's great. There's no judgment, no condemnation coming from my words. Not at all. I have been there too many times, and I was able for myself to see the patterns, to interrupt the patterns, to observe the patterns, to respond to it, and to really embody what was needed in order for me to change the dynamics I have been in before. And that were way too familiar for me. So if you're watching my videos for a longer time already, I have been working relentlessly on fear of abandonment and fear of rejection. I wasn't aware in the beginning at all. It was just, I thought who I was, or I didn't know the situations. And then only later on, it came visible in my life through a big emotional impact, because my subconscious was still remembering on a deep level that it was not safe and that I needed to protect myself. And that behavior was not healthy. And so what I experienced in my life, that I was inviting other people who had sort of similar wounds that created a co-dynamic or codependency, that was teaching me to learn my lessons. And it took me a long time to understand it. And once I understood, I could work on them and I could really embody what was needed. Embody, I mean, with it's not only information, it's lived experience. And you know how to catch yourself and how to turn situations around and not being run over by it. Not to drift anymore for months, for weeks. So if this speaks to you, then write capacity in the comments. Because I so see you and I so hear you. And I feel compassion for you. Because if you're still listening to what I'm sharing right now, It is that something inside of you wants to be helped. And if that's the case, then know that I'm able to help you. I'm setting up another program. It's actually redirecting a program that I've been guiding people through for 4 times already. And now I'm actually modifying it because of the feedback that I received. And I so love it how I can support you even more on this journey. So write down the word capacity so I can send you some more information. And also click the link in the pinned comment, because there you can be invited to our free community where I help you understanding how you can step into your emotional capacity and let that become a strength and not a weakness, if you want to call it that way. Talk to you very soon. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Like and subscribe and share this video with friends and family if you know this is going to help them as well. Talk to you very soon. Bye bye.